Hey, what up everybody, it's Cinny, and this is Dark Souls Remastered on PS4. Yeah, we're starting Dark Souls Remastered. We just got done with doing Bloodborne. I've also done Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, and Dark Souls 3. In both those games, we just, got through the game. It's our first time on the channel, so just getting through the game, any percent, whatever you want to call it, just getting to the end, beating it. So, Bloodborne, we got to the end, just got the normal ending, the easy ending to get. We used the saw cleaver the whole time. In Dark Souls 2, we used a great sword, and we beat all the bosses, did all the DLC. And then in Dark Souls 3, we used the Sellsword Twin Blades and just got through the game and beat it. And now we're on to Dark Souls Remastered. Gonna do the same thing, except for we're gonna be able to play the DLC, which, believe it or not, I've never played before, so that'll be a blind first time kind of thing for me in this game. The DLC, which comes with Remastered, so that'll be cool to do for the first time on a video on the channel, and first time at all for me. Picking large body, large upper body, male warrior, master key, large upper body. Just doing my character creation here, so a little backstory right now. So, and then Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin, we also speedrun that. There's 2 or 3 speedruns on the channel if you want to check that out, and how to beat it in under 2 hours, stuff like that. So we've beat Dark Souls 2 like 3 times on the channel, Dark Souls 3 we've beat, and Bloodborne we've beat. So now we're on to Dark Souls Remastered. This is my favorite game series, the Souls series. This is my favorite game, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne's a close second. And 3 and 2. I like 2, I speedrun that, so I definitely like 2, and 3 is probably my least favorite, but I still love it, still a good game. Delta Farmer, Semi-Long, and Silver. But here is the beginning cinematic, so I'll shut up, we can watch this. Since it's our first playthrough, might as well show all of the cutscenes.
Arch trees and everlasting dragons.
Don't know what weapon I'm gonna use.
With fire came disparity.
Trying to think what I've used before in this game.
Heat and cold
I've done about everything you can do in this game,
and death.
except for the DLC.
Of course, light and dark.
I've beat it no death. I've done a no death run before. Completed that. I've done an SL1.
From the dark they came.
I beat the game at Soul Level 1.
Found the souls of lords.
I beat the game at Soul Level 1 on New Game Plus. So I've done a lot of challenges on this game. I've never speedran it though. And I've never played the DLC, so.
The first of the dead.
And we haven't played it on the channel yet, so all of that is just a story until we do it on the channel.
Witch of Asylum and her daughters of chaos.
I did all the challenge runs on the Xbox 360 back in the day.
Sunlight and his faithful knights.
So yeah, I'm trying to think of what weapon I want to use for this run.
And the furtive pygmy.
If anybody has a suggestion, put it in the comments, because I'm not sure yet. I only know weapons I don't want to use because I've used them before.
Of lords, they challenge the dragons. Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart their stone skins.
So yeah, weapons that are similar to ones I used in the other games I don't want to use. So no great sword.
Nito unleashed a miasma of death and disease.
Nothing like the Sellsword Twin Blades, Saw Cleaver,
The scales betrayed his own, and
the Rapier,
dragons were no more.
which is used in the speedrun. And I've used Ricard's Rapier before to beat the game.
Thus began the Age of Fire.
So I'm trying to think of something I've never used before that isn't too crazy.
But soon the flames will fade, and only dark will remain.
Or something like totally different, you know? I've used big strength weapons.
Even now, there are only embers.
I've used little pokey swords.
Man sees not light, but only
I've used
endless
fast
waves.
dagger, short sword type weapons.
And amongst the living are seen carriers
So,
of the accursed dark side.
I'm trying to think. If you take all of those out, so no pokies, no short sword, fast two-hand, you know, dual wield, no huge great sword. What do you got left after taking those out? No saw cleaver type. I'm thinking about using a scythe. Either a scythe.
Yes, indeed. The dark sign brands the undead.
I'm sure I'll see it. You know, once we get it, I'll know it. That, you know, once I have it, I'll know that it's the one. Don't really want to use the long sword,
Undead are corralled and led to the
which
north.
we're a warrior, so we get that to start with. To be honest, since we're just trying to
Away,
beat the game,
wait the end of the world.
I wouldn't be opposed to using the Drake sword, and then like the lightning spear, and then like Quaelag's fury sword or something. Just use some elemental weapons.
Your fate.
I know those are like cheese and noob weapons, but they're pretty powerful when you get them. If you try to go too far with them, they start falling off because of scaling. I'm not some super expert at the lore of this game or anything. Like I said, I'm decent at it, but I haven't played it in a long time. I probably haven't played through this game in like 3 years, 4 years. But I've done a no death run, I've done a SL1 New Game Plus. So I'm not, I can get good at it. Never done a speed run. And I've never done the DLC, which we will do here. Using my little broken weapon that they give you in the beginning to kill these dudes. Just tradition. Picked up the key to our cell. That was, what's his name? Man, see, I don't even remember their names anymore. I remember most of their names, but the guy in this place that dies and gives you the Estus. Can't remember his freaking name. But yeah, you start with the longsword if you do warrior. It's a pretty good weapon. But the whole thing with Dark Souls is scaling as far as what weapon you're going to use. So if you pick a strength weapon, it has a grade. Whether it's A, B, C, D, or S. How good it scales with the stat. So the higher you raise your strength stat, the better the weapon is. If it's an S, it gets more from that. If it's A, it gets slightly less. B, less. C, less. D, less. You know? Then there's dexterity, the same thing. S, A, B, C, D. That's how much they gain from the stat. And then there's some weapons that are like a, you know, a D in strength and a C in dex, so you gotta raise both up, and you don't get a huge amount of benefit from either one. And there's some weapons that are elemental, so they get no scaling. And there's some that will gain off of like intelligence, wisdom, if there's some sort of, you know, like the Moonlight Greatsword or whatever is intelligence, and like the Sunlight Greatsword is probably wisdom. I don't remember, but there's a few weapons in the game that scale off of those as well. If we could do a magic run, like I've never done a magic run before. I almost remembered his name. I got hit by the boulder. That's funny.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon.
So I guess he got attacked by the stray demon.
I wish to ask something of you.
Or the Asylum demon.
Hear me out, will you? Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps
Just trying to remember the controls.
there's an old saying in my family. Thou who art
Testing out all my attacks.
divine exodus from the undead asylum, maketh pilgrimage to the
The
land,
chosen undead.
and thou ringest the bell of awakening. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite.
And he gives you your Estus Flask, pretty much the healing potion of this game. Undead Asylum, Floor 2 East Key.
I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you, and thank you.
He's afraid he's gonna attack us after he turns hollow. Let's go open this door. Just to do it. Got a guy up here with a bow and arrow, or a knife, a sword. Flailed around, got us, but we got the backstab off. I played through this this part. It was like a week ago, so pretty much reacting to my own video here with post commentary. These guys try to surprise you around the corner, but you can use that to your advantage. Kind of attack them as they come around. Guy shooting the arrow could hold up your shield or just dodge. Dies in one hit. Another guy in here, sword and shield. That hollow shield's pretty good, if I remember correctly. Hollow soldier shield. I remember using that quite a bit. Might be one of the shields I use. I usually do, I don't know. I've done a lot of everything. I mean, I've used a sword and board. I've done big giant two-handers. I've done dual wielding. So I don't know, maybe we'll do like a magic run or something. That's what I keep, the only thing I could think of that I haven't done. If you do a jumping attack off of that ledge, it gives you extra damage for your plunge. You got me there because I didn't have the timing down, but I get it down. So let's heal up. Still got 3 left. Get an attack off. Dodge. Get an attack. Dodge. Attack. And you can get fire bombs as your gift, and you can use them against him and make this battle go pretty fast. Well, I missed. So you know, it's just dodge when right around the time when it's gonna hit you. There's almost like an audio cue to when you should push the button. We get the big Pilgrim's Key. For killing the first boss of the game. The undead treasure of these dual green flasks filled with Estus at Bonfire fills HP. The Estus flasks are linked to the Fire Keepers. The Dark Tales also make reference. An emerald flask from the Keeper's soul. She lives to protect the flame and dies to protect it further. Black Separation Crystal. So I don't know. Okay, Black Separation Crystal. This black crystal, long a symbol of farewell, is granted to banished undead. The crystal sends phantoms back to their homes or sends you back to yours. Beware of fickle use of this item if you intend to nurture relations. Humanity. Rare tiny black sprite found on corpses. Used to gain 1 humanity and restore a large amount of HP. This black sprite is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity we hold? The dark sign signifies an accursed undead. These branded with their reborn after death will one day lose their mind and go hollow. Death triggers the dark sign, which returns its bearer to the last bonfire rested at, but at the cost of humanity and souls. So you can use okay, Master Key. This universal key opens any basic lock, tool of the trade for thieves, but in Cursed Land of Undead, most doors. Dungeon cell key. He to the dungeon under the mysterious night without saying a word. Shoved a course on the cell and on the person with his key. What was the night and what was the purpose? There'd be no answers, but still must forge ahead. I remember I didn't give myself very much time. Key to the iron bars on the east side of the second floor of the North Undead Asylum. Undead Asylum is a giant undead prison segmented by countless iron bars. Even if an undead were to escape from a cell, passage to the outside world would not be gained easily. So we speed read. Key to the inner door of the Undead Asylum main hall. Big key belonging to a chosen undead pilgrim, but this chosen undead knows not what this pilgrimage has in store. Okay. So what I was saying about humanity, if you put it in your tool belt and your hollow, you can use it as a extra heal. It takes a second. It takes longer than an Estus flask. But you can crush it, and you gain 1 humanity in your counter up in the left-hand corner, and it'll heal you, like pretty much a full heal, I'm pretty sure. Down here is a nice little soul of a lost undead. So that's our hard souls. Collect those, and you can crush them and gain souls. You should probably save them up until you want to buy something instead of just crushing them willy-nilly. We escaped.
In the ancient legends, it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen.
Birdie comes and gets us.
Leave the Undead Asylum in pilgrimage.
We're leaving the Undead Asylum in pilgrimage.
To the land of the ancient lords.
To the land of the ancient lords. Lordran. So yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking magic user, or maybe some sort of katana, like a really fast two-hand weapon. So I haven't used a fast two-hand. I've used a fast one-hand, or like dual-wielded, but I haven't used like a fast two-hand. I don't know. We'll see. It's not quite that time yet. That's the only bad thing about this is you can, you know, some weapons. Oh, I'm tired yawning. Wow.
But there's no celebration here. You'd have done better to rot in the Undead Asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are actually 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the Undead Church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happened. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land, the undead.
So this guy gives us our first mission, pretty much. Find the 2 bells of awakening and ring them. Ring ding dong. So you see me putting the humanity in my tool belt. Just for later use.
You're practically hollow. I don't know. Going hollow could solve quite a bit.
This sad sack here, Mr. Pessimistic.
But restoring your humanity, well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I never do it, is to kill every undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all.
Telling you how to get humanity and everything. Which the only benefit, really, is you look better.
Don't try anything clever.
And you can summon help.
Regret it.
And get attacked, though. People can invade.
What? You want to hear more? Oh, that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the undead church, but the lift is broken. You will have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the Undead Burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the Undead Burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'll die again before I step foot in that cesspool.
Don't worry, buddy. We're not going to ask you to go with
What
us.
is it now? You ask too many questions.
Even though that would make way more sense.
I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
Alright, so he told us what to do.
I'm not
Just making sure I got all the dialogue. Looks like we got it all. But yeah, you could pop a humanity and sit at the bonfire and reverse your hollowing. And it just changes your appearance. And it does give you some stats, but not a lot. And it's more like item find, I think, than anything. I'll get more, I'll remember more as we go. And the more we play the game, the more I'll remember. Well, let's collect all the items around this starting area, first of all. There's a few things you can get just running around and exploring in this first safe area. There's no enemies in the immediate area of the bonfire right here, so you can run around looking for stuff. Like some fire bombs, 6 fire bombs. Pretty strong, especially early in the game. Could kill an enemy in one shot with those, or you could hit a boss for some decent damage. Don't think there's anything back here, but I always like to roll through these vases or whatever. There's Petrist of Thurland. I remembered his name, actually. Up here is another item, so here's our second or third item if you count the 3 humanity. Take off all our clothes, get naked. It's not a party until you get naked. Just so we move a little quicker. For now, at least. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might go naked. I might wear some armor. Probably want to get something light, though. I like to be able to roll. Make sure our brightness is good, too, before we go too far. We can either do one of 2 things, pretty much. You can either be super light and roll through attacks, or you can be super heavy and, like, block attacks and not worry about getting, you know, hit too much. Because your suit gives lots of armor. We've got a Homeward Bone, a Morning Star, and a Talisman. Never used the Morning Star, I don't think. Cracked a Red Eye Orb. So some okay items over here, nothing amazing, but some useful stuff. Lloyd's Talisman, I think that blocks healing for enemies. Cracked Red Eye Orb, online play item, invade another world. Hollows cannot use the item. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire humanity. The red cracked orb allows players to temporarily imitate this ability. Normally, it lets you invade, pretty much. Firebomb, bisque urn filled with black powder, explodes, inflicting fire damage. Relatively powerful ranged weapon, especially in situations calling for fire damage. Lloyd's Talisman, talisman utilized by all Father Lloyds. Cleric Knights to hunt down the undead, blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. In the outside world, the undead are cursed creatures, and Lloyd's Cleric Knights are widely praised for their undead stuff. Homeward Bone, bone fragment reduced to white ash, returned to the last bonfire, used for resting. So that's how you return home, or to the last bonfire. Soul of Lost Undead, use to acquire souls. I'll just read the important stuff since I didn't give myself very much time. But we did just pick up a Morning Star, so we have the Long Sword and a Morning Star we could choose between. Another large soul of the undead. There's a few things down here in this graveyard as well. Not as easy to get as the stuff we just got up above. These guys will reanimate, and they hit pretty hard for the beginning of the game. You're not supposed to go this way. This is where most new players screw up. Well, really, the first place most new players screw up is they try to fight the boss at the very beginning of the game instead of running past him and through the door, and they get destroyed and they can't do damage to him, and they don't even have a weapon yet, so they say, this game is too hard, I quit. But you're not supposed to fight that guy, you're supposed to run by him. And then here is the second spot. If they make it past that boss, they get here, and then they try to go this way and fight the skeletons, and they hit really hard, they reanimate, they double team you, and it's really hard at this point of the game. You can go this way, that's what's cool about this game. There's different ways you can go. You could go this way. We could go to New Londo and try to fight ghosts without a proper weapon. We could go to the catacombs and fight skeletons that reanimate. And we could go to Undead Burg. There's 3 different choices right now, really. And with the Master Key, we could go to Blight Town as well. So we have lots of different ways to go, but there's really only one proper path, which is the Undead Burg. Because that's the enemies that are for your level. If you go to the catacombs, the skeletons are going to reanimate, they're going to attack in multiples, and they're going to hit you for half your health in one shot. So don't go that way. I've gone that way before early in the game because there is an item that's really useful down there. It lets you kindle bonfires. The Rite of Kindling, I'm pretty sure it's called. You have to beat the a boss, a pretty easy boss, but he's really hard to get to early in the game. But there's an item right there. You can drop down here, but just be really careful on the edge, and you can make these skeletons fall down. Get you some free souls. Make sure they don't hit you. You can kick them off if you want as well. But we got a decent amount of souls just for making skeletons fall off the edge there. But it's pretty hard. There is some items down here. If you're brave and you're good at the game, you can get some items down here. There's a Zweihander, some large souls of the undead, so a decent amount of souls. You can kick skeletons off the edge and get 50 souls, which at this point of the game is a decent amount. The binoculars are down here. Caduceus round shield. It's another shield. We could use the Zwi. I don't know how you say it. I've always said Zweihander. 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 Wing spear. So we do have options already. I do like a nice early option, because that's what I was trying to say earlier, and I forgot what I was saying. If you want to use a certain weapon in this game, some of them aren't until you're like halfway through the game. Like if you wanna use the Quaelag's Fury Sword, for example, you have to pretty much ring both bells and beat Quaelag, and then you can get it. And you have to meet a certain blacksmith and everything. Like, you're already halfway through the game by the time you can get that weapon. So, there's other ones like that. There's the Balder-sized sword. You gotta be at the church and get a lucky drop, and pretty much Sin's Fortress type. Right before Anor Londo, you can get that weapon. So that's pretty far into the game. It's not super far. Like, you could get that pretty early. It's like the second or third area of the game, but I like getting my weapon really early so I can get used to the moveset, start putting the right stats into it, I'm gonna try to get all these skeletons on me so I can get all the items down here. Make a run, not a death run either. I'm not trying to die here, but I want these binoculars. I want to get my knocks. Do a little Jamal Charles, some Ezekiel Elliott. Do the Walter Payton, Emmett Smith, juke, zigzag around all those skeletons. Look at all of them. We'll see if we can get some souls off of them falling off the edge here. They might be on a tether. They're not on a super hard tether. Like, most of the skeletons will chase you all the way to the bonfire, but they're on a soft tether. Like, if you get a certain distance from them, they'll tether back. They got a leash. It's a soft leash though, because they will chase you all the way to the bonfire if they're close to you. But yeah, that's where people screw up in this game. They're just doing too much, pretty much. Making bad decisions, doing too much. That'll get you hurt in Dark Souls. Here we have Petrus.
I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Firelink. Have you business with us?
I'm not trying to do like everything in the game, because like I said, I haven't played DLC yet, so we're definitely probably not going to get everything there.
Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace.
But
Go ahead.
dude, we should do a Petrus playthrough. That'd be funny.
Oh my.
Use a mace, a knight, shield,
How about this?
his armor,
My companions here anyway.
and just miracles.
Teach you some miracles. Would that please you?
It might be fun.
Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods.
Might as well join it. There's like no reason not to. For now, at least.
Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith.
I would like to do like a cosplay kind of playthrough, like as a character in the game, but I don't want to do that on my first one. Like, that's something fun we could do on a subsequent playthrough. We got a gesture, shrug.
My companions own a lady and her young nuts. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses to keep her from harm.
Talking about some other people.
Regrettably, I cannot share that with you, but you are my pupil.
Won't tell us his plan or whatever. He wants us to bribe him for more information. No thanks, buddy.
For our mission is a sacred.
We should have done it though.
Come again.
Won't tell us anything else because we won't give him more money. That's the church for ya. Gotta give to that donation plate. And they'll give you more information. Alright, now this is the way you want to go. So first mistake most people make is they try to fight the very first boss demon that drops down. No, you run by it. Second mistake people make is they try to fight the skeletons and go that way. That's not the right way. Or they go down into New Londo or something crazy and try to fight ghosts. This is the right way. If you see these guys, you're heading the right way. It's pretty easy to backstab in this game. You just hold up your shield, circle around, press into them, and then attack. So you kind of have to press into their back a little bit. That's the trick. You gotta make sure you're directly behind them, and then press into them. You can't just click the button when you're behind them. You have to like press into them as well. Let's do this. Bang, see full health. Didn't have to use the Estus. So it's nice to have those. You know, it's nice to be hollow so you can use those. And gain health. Try to knock this guy off. There's 3 guys up here. So don't get too cocky. You know, this is the beginning of the game, but these guys aren't pushovers. They'll kill you in 2 hits if you get too crazy. You think you have it under control and you're attacking one of them. You see the other one out of the corner of your eye, and the third one pegs you in the head with a firebomb. And then the one that you saw out of the corner of your eye, you know, swings at you while you're staggered from the firebomb, and then you're dead. Got 10 Estus flasks. Now we have 9. Everybody's dead. Don't forget to head this way, though. Hollow warrior armor. Sometimes that hollow armor is not that bad. I think one of the lightest pairs of pants you can wear or something is the hollow waistcloth or something like that. Like, as far as weight and armor, like ratio, it's one of the better pants. Like, it doesn't have the most armor, and it's not the lightest, but if you do the ratio, like how much AC to weight, it's like one of the better ones. Ring of Sacrifice. Mystical ring was created in the sacrificial rite of Velka, the goddess of sin. Its wearer will lose nothing upon death, but the ring will break. So this is a really cool ring. If you put it on and you die, it breaks. But you don't lose your souls or your humanity or anything, but you lose the ring. So what you want to do is, when you die, you don't wear the ring at all. Don't wear it at all. Leave it in your inventory. Save it for later. When you die and you have a stain out there, a soul stain, put on the ring while you're going on a corpse run. That way, if you die on your way to your stain, on the way to your souls, you won't lose it, because the ring will break and you'll still have another chance to go get your old souls. Still, you'll have to get it on your second try, but it gives you an extra chance to go get your souls. So yeah, say we die right here, and we leave 3,518 souls laying right here where this guy's standing. That was a parry, and by the way, nice one. And then, you know, we have to come back and get our souls. That'll be right there. Well, if we put our ring on, that ring of sacrifice, let's say that rat kills us in the waterway there. On our way to get our souls, we die again, but we're wearing the ring of sacrifice. Well, it'll break, but you won't lose your stain up here, and there won't be a new one where the rat is, I don't think. It'll keep your same one, and your ring will break, and you'll have a second chance to go get it. You won't lose the 3,000 souls. You'll get another chance at it, but you'll lose that ring of sacrifice. So that's the best way to use it. I mean, it's kind of the same thing if you think about it, but you're wasting a ring slot if you wear it just running around normally. You want to only wear it when you are going on a soul, like you know, you died with a bunch of souls on you, and it's in a crappy place. Go ahead and pop that ring of sacrifice on, and it gives you extra like protection against losing your souls. So if you died in some crazy hard spot that's far away, and there's like 300,000 souls on it, that's a good time to use that ring. But not just running around for no reason. That's not a good time. Even right now, when we don't have a ring, it would be a bad time to wear it, because if we die, like we fall and die to gravity, there goes our ring. And that's you know, if you're gonna die in this game, I could bet you'll die at least once from gravity, because that was my main villain when I was doing the no death run. I was like, man, I'm gonna fall somewhere. That's how I'm gonna die. That's gonna be my first death. I know it, because I was pretty good at the game back then, so I wasn't too worried about very many enemies. You know, besides a couple bosses. But yeah, gravity. That's a one-shot kill just from, you know, not paying attention for one split second. You could fall down a cliff. There goes your whole no-death run. But yeah, you can. How we got here, we knocked over them barrels, fell down, and there's a little kind of a secret area over here. You go right there, right down right there. Got a fog wall. Never was sure why they had those just in random spots like that. I think it has something to do with PvP, getting invaded, / loading the next area. I don't know. Something like that. I never heard a good explanation from anybody. Ooh, there's the third main culprit to noobs. The dragon and the shooting flame on the bridge. That's usually the third spot. People say this game is too hard, I'm not playing it anymore. And that's why people call this game hard, I would say. If you're any good at it and you can get past all the roadblocks, most people are jerks and you know, and they say, oh, it's not hard. Even though people say this game is like Dark Souls, it's hard, you know. It's like a well-known difficult game. But it's because they don't do stuff properly. They try to fight that first boss you're not supposed to fight, that you can't barely beat unless you like do a certain thing. They try to go in the catacombs and fight the skeletons before they come here. They get burned up on the bridge and lose a bunch of souls and didn't get the bonfire and are way back in the freaking Firelink Shrine, and they're like, screw this. They go back and get their souls, and the dragon burns them up again, and they lose all their souls. And they're like, how do I get past this dragon on this bridge? And I just lost all my souls, and you know? So, that's like the third place. A lot of people quit. But once you get past that, I would say, you know, you're probably in for the long haul. That is like the, you know, that's like the jump in. Get packed out by that, dragon on that bridge. If you can get past that, if you can make it through getting jumped in to Dark Souls by getting burned up on that bridge. If you make it past there to the Sunlight Altar area / Black Knights and stuff, and you're probably in it for the long haul. Resonance key opens resonance in. So you still need that even if you have the master key. So I went ahead and bought it. I haven't used any souls yet, so used it on that key there that we're gonna need. You need it for something. I can't remember what. It's one of the doors. And then I got a bow, a horrible goat demon, and a humongous drake. And a bull demon too. So he's talking about Capra demon, Taurus, and the drake, fire drake. Thinking about getting the bottomless box. Do some inventory at the bonfires. Some arrows would be nice, because if we're going after the Drake sword, you can get it other ways, but the way I know is shooting the tail. So, I guess since I bought the bow and a bunch of arrows, we might be doing that. I know that's cheesy and noobish, but it's really powerful at this point in the game. Until I figure out what I'm using, I might go ahead and use that, because I think it's cool to show people how to get it and everything, because not even, still to this day, I bet you a lot of people don't know about the Drake sword. I know a lot of people do, but, you know, it's still kind of a secret. Bottomless box, arrows, bow, resonance key. I think I did pretty good there. Shopping. Well, I just bought a bunch of crap from you, bro. Like 3,000 souls worth. See, I could use the Zwihanda. We got a bow. I've never used the winged spear. I guess a two-handed thrusting weapon would be something new. So a spear. But I guess you could use that one-handed as well. But it kind of reminds me of the rapier. Let's hit some headshots. Ooh, missed. How'd I miss that? Ooh, there we go. Right between the eyes. Missed again. Shooting 50%. Less than. Sometimes it's fun just to kill everything with the bow for a while, you know, a little bit. A really easy way to get through the fodder, just the normal enemies in this game. A really easy way if you're like trying to teach your kid or somebody to play this game. Just tell them to hold up their shield, block, let the enemy hit them, block the attack, and then return fire. That's a really easy way to get through most of this game. Let them go first. It's all about patience. Here's a little semi-secret area. You can jump over here. We saw that earlier when we went through that fog gate. We saw that this there was a broken bridge or whatever you want to call it. And up here we have the crossbow. So if you don't want to buy a bow, you could use the crossbow. Which crossbow is just like you don't have as much aiming. Like you can't, I don't think you can manually aim with that. I don't know. You can target though. Shoot. It's pretty cool. You can do some stuff with the crossbow. It's not totally useless. Like the Evelyn or Avalon or whatever it's called shoots like 3 arrows at once. If you like specifically aim to use that, it can be used effectively. Or like the heavy crossbow, if you like go into strength real heavy, and then the heavy crossbow can actually do some damage. Not enough to where I'd say yeah you should use it, but go ahead and reverse our hollowing so we look sexy. Our sexy pale body. Don't know why, but might as well. Checking out how much souls I need to level up. Oh, and there's a cool spot you can farm souls coming up a little bit. It's not like super awesome, but with the fire drake, you can just let him burn up the enemies and keep, you know, rinse and repeat, and you can get a few levels off it. I might show that, not this video, but maybe next video I'll show that farming technique. It's good for, you know, 5 to 10 levels. It's not something where you're gonna sit there for hours and get 50 levels or anything, but you could do it for you know, a good 30 minutes and get like 10 levels, something like that. You could do it for 15 minutes and get a nice 5 levels. Only thing about shooting arrows is you gotta look at your little thong before you shoot. Nobody wants to see that, bro. Well, this part's pretty hard too, right here. Just the guys throwing fire bombs at you. There's a couple of them, and then the guy rushes you through the door, and then there's 2 or 3 dudes up in this room up here. But if you just use a simple bow and arrow, you can make this way easier. Once again, patience. Blocking, using range, you know, not fighting 2 or 3 enemies at once, not fighting bosses when you're not supposed to fight them, not going to areas when you're not supposed to go to areas, not getting burned up by fire 50 times in a row. Just common sense, like, not really common sense, but just, you know, some sort of patience and not banging your head against the wall and just forcing stuff and just rushing around. If you're gonna try to rush around in this game, I dare you, dude. I dare you to try to rush around in this game if you've never played it before. If you played it before, yeah, of course, people speedrun. But they know how to specifically glide through the game with precision. They're not just banging their head against the wall. Which I've definitely watched new players play this before. And, you know, they don't want to take it slow and easy. They want to try to, I want to slash stuff with this huge sword real fast, and then they go to do an attack and they get stabbed in the guts and jumped, and then they die, and they're like, that sucked, now I gotta go get my body. And you're like, yeah, and then they try to do that and they get jumped and killed again, and then it's just a snowball effect. I can't remember what we just got there. Something. Oh, another roadblock is the Black Knights. Even though you don't have to fight them, you know, some people insist on it. I recommend you do fight them, but just be really careful. They're super powerful compared to the regular enemies. They can kill you in like 1 or 2 hits. And like combo you to death, stun lock you. Firebomb, Soul of Lost Undead. That body went flopping around. But yeah, the Black Knight, the first one's coming up, and if you're not careful, he can kill you. So that's another little roadblock. Even though you do not have to fight him, I always make sure to go up in this tower and kill this guy before I go any further. I don't need a crossbow in my butt. I don't need a bolt in my butt. But yeah, these are probably going to be these videos are probably going to be once. I'm going to try to do them once a week, but it might be once every 2 weeks. And I'm going to try to do like an hour at a time so we can get through the game at a certain pace. I took way too long on Bloodborne because I was doing like 1 video a month. And I don't want to take forever because I want to do some other stuff. Almost died here. Look at that health. Almost died. That's crazy. Had to get the heck out of there. And I almost went too far up the steps and triggered the rolling barrel, flaming barrel trap too. So I got lucky there, big time. That was almost a death. We haven't died yet, by the way. No deaths yet. That was very close though. I had like 1 HP. That was nuts. Alright, here is the first Black Knight. Very hardy and hard hitting. You can sneak up on him, but it's pretty hard. Like, you have to really inch towards him and then like break for it at the very last second. You can't just inch. You have to like inch really slow, and then when you're close enough you gotta like teleport to his back and backstab him. Cause he's got good ears. If you're within a couple feet of him, he's gonna turn around no matter what. But here's a good spot to go to avoid him and still kill him. Like, I could shoot arrows at him all day and kill him like this, but I don't want to waste a bunch of arrows. And he can block. He wasn't for some reason. Got a plunging attack. Almost got hit. But a lot of people will just parry him, but you can also backstab him. Backstabbing is a little safer. If you miss your parry, you're gonna get chopped in 2. But you can, if you also are going for a backstab and he hits your shield a few times, he's gonna stun you. He's gonna knock your shield back. And I try to get a nice 2-handed hit on him while he's standing. Doesn't always work, But that's a good one to punish. The running thrust that he does. If you can get like medium distance from him, he'll do a running thrust, and that's a good one to punish. Like, these are the ones where he does like 2 or 3 of those in a row is like the worst ones to try to punish. But the running thrust is like the best. Or the single slash. This right here, that's not it. That's not what you want. That right there, you can punish that. This is the worst. You don't want to try to do that. And that right there is the best to punish. The running thrust. Because he has a long recovery period after it. Ooh, I almost went for the kill there. I would have got knocked off the ledge. My head would have went flying. Ooh, we got the parry to finish. I wasn't a chicken. I went for it. Titanite chunk. That is an upgrade material, and it is a good one. I was about to end it here, but I'm gonna put like 1 more minute on the end because I had an extra minute. So let's go get this ring that he was guarding. And I'm probably gonna have to head back to the bonfire to, I don't know, I need my Estus flasks back. I probably need to do some level ups, level up a little bit, crush some hard souls, get some levels up, put the blue ring on, recover, recuperate, and then go to the boss, because the boss is coming very soon. But we got a lot done in this video. We got out of the Undead Asylum, killed the first boss. We came to the Firelink Shrine. We collected all the items around there, even down in, the skeleton, the graveyard area. Even there, we got all the way through most of Undead Burg. We killed the Black Knight. We got the next bonfire. Yeah. Did pretty good. Got the resonance key, got a bow, stuff like that. I got a lot of stuff done. Next up will be the Taurus demon, and then the fire drake. So, yeah, look forward to this a week or 2 from now, and hopefully you liked it. Like, share, subscribe. Comment below what weapon you want me to use, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.